Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another video. This is Mr. Blackhammer 2021. This video is sponsored by PlayStation. It was sponsored by a Wrestling, by the Salamonster, by JD from New York. It was sponsored by Fightful Pro Wrestling, and all my fans in the community that do wrestling podcasts. Even WrestleTalk wanted me to do this video. Now, this video was uploaded on Saturday night. This is WWE Wrestlemania 38 Night 1 review. I'm going to go through the entire card. Hope you guys enjoy this video. It'll go about 30 minutes. So let's get right into it. This is Mr. Blackhammer 2021. And man, Wrestlemania on Saturday was great. It was an excellent show. Maybe the best Wrestlemania I've ever seen. The best show of all time. The show was fantastic. It was phenomenal. There were a lot of great matches. We had the return of Cody Rhodes, and then Logan Paul debut. Stone Cold Steve Austin wrestled for the first time in 19 years. Becky Lynch and Bianca was a 5-star classic. And now there were some ups and downs in the match. The worst match was Charlotte and Ronda. That was garbage. Yeah, garbage. But it was a good Wrestlemania. Maybe one of the best Wrestlemanias, and that was only night 1. Night 2 has a lot of work to do. I will go over all the matches and what I think, and give you my prediction and give you my opinions about what I thought about the matches and how the card was booked. I mean, there were some decent matches. There were some matches that had no business being on the show, but they really did deliver. Like, there was only one match that was terrible, and that was Ronda and Charlotte. And I'm glad that they didn't main event. And I'm glad that they gave it to Steve Austin and Kevin Owens. Man, I mean, WrestleMania was a great show. I loved this WrestleMania. I think it was better. I think it was a lot better than last year and the other year before. And having it be 2 nights is a lot better. About over 70,000 people in attendance. Man, WrestleMania was a good show. Alright, so let me go into it. The opener we had the Usos defend the SmackDown tag titles against Rick Boogs and Nakamura. The match was decent. The match didn't need to be on the card. It wasn't a pay-per-view quality match. It was just like, let's get these guys on the show. The match wasn't bad. It was decent. I was happy for Rick Boogs. He got to compete at WrestleMania. And the other bad news is that Rick Boogs got hurt. He suffered an ankle injury, a quad or something. It's been reported he's gonna get surgery. He'll be out for a few months. So that's sad, because I really like Rick Boogs. He's been one of the best things on SmackDown. And Rick Boogs got hurt in the match, so they had to change the match outcome. Where Rick Boogs, Nakamura had to compete by himself. But the Usos retained with the 3D, and that was it. It was a decent match. Not the match that would open the show, but it was decent. And then after that we had Drew McIntyre defeat Happy Corbin. Another match that had no business being on the card. But the match wasn't bad, it was decent. This was actually better than Charlotte and Ronda, let that sink in. But the match wasn't bad, it was actually pretty decent. It didn't need to be on WrestleMania. Well, the match did not need to be on WrestleMania, but it was a decent match. I mean, I just hope that the feud is over between Drew McIntyre and Happy Corbin, because they have feuded for 5 months since the Survivor Series, I think. So hopefully that the feud is over and we can move on from those two. The match was decent. It didn't need to be on WrestleMania. The build was terrible. Nobody cared about this match, but somehow the crowd got into this match. The match was actually decent. Drew McIntyre did a flying clothesline off the rope. Now, the most shocking part of this match was Drew McIntyre kicked out of the End of Days. Drew McIntyre became the first person to ever kick out of the End of Days. The End of Days is the most protected finisher in all WWE. Nobody had kicked out of it in 6 years. And this year WrestleMania moment, Drew McIntyre kicked out of it. Now, if this match was given the proper build and story, like there was a title on the line, then I'll be okay with it. But I was shocked that he kicked out of the End of Days. I was shocked. But at the same time, it was actually okay. The match was alright. I just hope that the feud is over and we can move on. Now, they did tease that Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss might break up. They might go their separate ways and turn Madcap into a babyface. I think that'll be good because Happy Corbin is awful. As much as we all hate Baron Corbin, he does have the best finisher, but yeah. I guess at the end of the day, they're no longer protected because no one gets out of it. So Drew McIntyre probably going to move on to Roman Reigns and fight for that Universal title. So yeah, I can't wait. Well, the match was good. Drew McIntyre won with a Claymore kick, and that was it. And then after the match, he cut the rope with his sword and scared Madcap. So that was it. Alright, so after that, then we had another good match. We had Logan Paul and The Miz defeat Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio. Booyaka, booyaka, 619. The match was actually great. Logan Paul had a great performance. Now, I will talk about this match. I hate celebrities competing at WrestleMania. I don't like Logan Paul, but Logan Paul played his act real well. Now, we all know that Logan Paul gets so much heat, but he actually played pretty good. He had a great performance. Not, it wasn't better than Bad Bunny last year, but it was a great performance. And Logan Paul had a great performance. He did a lot of suplexes. He did a frog splash. He did the Three Amigos, the three suplex on Dominic. I think, yeah. And Logan Paul did a lot in this match. The match was great. It was actually a pretty good match. Logan Paul had a better performance than Ronda and Charlotte. Let that sink in. He had a great performance. He gets so much heat. And after the match was over, The Miz got the Skull Crushing finale pin. I think it pinned Rey Mysterio. And after they celebrated, The Miz turned on Logan to a babyface reaction. He gave Logan Paul the Skull Crushing finale after the match was over. And the crowd was popping so hard for The Miz. The crowd cheered for The Miz. Because fans don't like Logan Paul. Logan Paul got booed out of the building, as I expected. Now Logan Paul played great as a heel. He gets so much heat and so much fan reaction. But the guy can wrestle. And he had a great performance. Again, not better than Bad Bunny last year, but he had a pretty good performance. And the match was great. I enjoyed the match. I think we might see Logan Paul wrestle again. Maybe in Saudi Arabia or maybe somewhere else. I don't know. But it was a pretty good match. And then after that, I believe we had Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair. This match was fantastic. It was a great match. Now, the match was a 5-star classic. The build was alright. The story was okay. We all knew Bianca was gonna win. She got her revenge for happening at SummerSlam. Now, was the match important than last year with her and Sasha? No. Was the match a little bit better than her and Sasha last year? Yes. I think the match was better. The crowd was into it. I loved the match. And yeah. And I'm happy for Bianca. She got her moment. I mean, Bianca is great. And Bianca might be more over because now she's the Raw Women's Champion. Now she's on Raw. And hopefully we see new people like Bayley and Asuka fight her. I don't know. I hope so. But the match was fantastic. There were a lot in this match. I thought Bianca was gonna lose based on what happened on Raw when she cut Becky's hair. But it didn't happen. Now both of them had great entrances. So far, everyone on night one had a great entrance, and they came out with great attires. I mean, Becky Lynch came out. She had a new hair. She wore a pretty good attire. Becky Lynch did great in the match. This is the real Becky Lynch that I want to see. Dump the gimmick, dump the BS, dump the cringe, give us the real Becky Lynch, and that's what we got in the match. Now Bianca had a great entrance. She also had a marching band play her music while she came out. Now the match was a 5-star classic. It was great. It was a lot better than Ronda and Charlotte. I kind of wish it was the main event, but it wasn't. But it was a very good match. And we know that the feud is gonna be over pretty soon. So yeah. So yeah, um, it was a good match. She went with the KOD out of nowhere, and she won. Now hopefully she get booked the right way, but I'm not confident in them booking Bianca because I think she might be. I think now what's stopping them from doing what they did last year, and who's they gonna lose it to? Hopefully Bailey comes back and Asuka, and maybe we get some caller from NXT. I don't know. I don't know where Bianca goes. Becky Lynch, I'm sure she's gonna be off TV for a while. I mean, Becky Lynch didn't do anything with that woman's title. I think she brought the women's division down with the terrible booking of forcing her as a heel, and she got no one over. She pretty much failed. She failed Liv Morgan. She failed Doudrop. Bianca was almost done. But yeah. So Bianca's the new champion. The match was great. Crowd was into it. Bianca got a big pop. Yep. And then after that we had Seth Rollins versus a mystery partner. This was the more interesting thing on Raw. Who's gonna fight Seth Rollins, and it was all the rumors were true. Cody Rhodes came back. Cody Rhodes made his return to WWE after 6 years. Now we all knew that it was gonna be Cody Rhodes. It was no surprise. It was actually one of the worst surprises. We all knew Cody Rhodes was coming back. He signed with WWE last month. He came out to his AEW theme song. He came out to the American Nightmare. The crowd popped like crazy. He got a big pop. The crowd reacted so hard for Cody Rhodes. They chanted for Cody Rhodes when he came out. And the match was great. Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins had a fantastic match. I gave this match 5 stars. And I'm happy that Cody Rhodes is back in the company, and hopefully he can be booked properly. He had to be. He can be booked like a star. After being away from the company for over 6 years. Cody Rhodes is fantastic, a great wrestler. And he's gonna be on Monday Night Raw. Now the match was great. I think he hit like 4 crossroads on Seth Rollins. The one thing I didn't like about the match is Seth Rollins kicking out the crossroads. Seth Rollins didn't even try hit the curb stomp. He did hit a pedigree and Rhodes kicked out. But I think Cody Rhodes hit like 4 crossroads until finally he hit the 4th one and he won the match. He got a big pop. He felt emotional. The match was great. And Cody Rhodes had to be booked like a star. And he will be a babyface. The match was fantastic. It was a great match. So we had 2 great matches back to back. Actually 3 great matches. We had the tag team match, Becky and Bianca. Then we had Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. I'm glad that it was here. And the match was fantastic, a great match. And Cody Rhodes is gonna be a star. And now we have a reason to watch Monday Night Raw and care about the show. Because now Cody Rhodes is gonna give a great match. He'll be in big feuds. He doesn't have to wrestle every week. But the match was fantastic. I loved this match. It was great. And Cody Rhodes had an epic return. Cody Rhodes got a WrestleMania moment. Because 6 years ago, he had a WrestleMania match. 6 years ago for the IC title. That's when he started the gimmick. And here he is 6 years later. Last time we saw him on AEW, it was in that ladder match when he lost to Sammy Guevara. Now Cody Rhodes is going to be booked like a star. Then after that, we had the Hall of Fame introduction. It showed The Undertaker and it showed all the other superstars. And after The Undertaker came out, then we get the worst match on the card. We got Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey. This match was terrible. One of the worst matches on the card. It was garbage. Nobody cared about it. I didn't care about it. This match was terrible. The crowd was dead. Johnson. The match was boring. There was nothing audio in this match. First of all, the build sucked. The feud was garbage. Ronda Rousey is freaking boring. You might well call Ronda Rousey with her boring promos. Charlotte's no better. And I'm glad that this match was given the time that it did. This was the depth slot of the match. After 3 great matches, after Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins, and The Undertaker's promo, and then we saw The Undertaker's Hall of Fame introduction. Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey were the depth slot of the night. They put second to last on the card, and I'm glad. And real funny how Charlotte Flair advocated to be in the main event, and she got bumped because of Stone Cold and Kevin Owens. And I'm glad. Nobody cared about this match. Yeah. Now the match was terrible. I'm not even gonna talk about the match. I mean, the match had a screwy finish, which means the feud is gonna continue. Yes, the feud is gonna continue, because the ending we had. Now the match was a little bit physical at the start, and then it was slow paced and boring. Crowd was dead, fans were out of it. I think it was like a little boring chant in this match. Yeah, people did not care about Charlotte and Ronda. And the ending where Ronda Rousey hit the Piper Pit, the referee counted 3, but Charlotte's foot was on the rope. So the referee had like a late reaction and said no, it doesn't count. And then Charlotte tried for the figure four. Then Ronda countered into the armbar, but then countered, and then Charlotte speared the referee. Referee gets knocked out, and then Ronda gets the armbar this time, and tapped out Charlotte. Charlotte tapped out, but there was no referee. The referee was knocked out. So Ronda Rousey, like an idiot, goes to check on the referee, tried to wake up the referee, turns around. Charlotte kissed her in the face and wins in the most anticlimactic, most lame finish. Charlotte pins her 1, 2, 3, and that's it. Ronda Rousey looked like an idiot in this match. Charlotte know better. But the way how the match ended, this feud is gonna continue, probably at WrestleMania Backlash. They did announce the next pay-per-view. WrestleMania Backlash is the next pay-per-view on May 8th, I think. So yeah. But man, oh man, this match was freaking terrible. Match was awful. And I'm glad that this was not the main event, because if this was the main event, people would be shitting on this match. People would be walking out. People paid to see Steve Austin, not Charlotte and Ronda. Match had no business being in the main event. So yeah. The match was terrible, but we all know the feud gonna continue, which I hate because now we gotta go through more Ronda and Charlotte. So yeah. So after that debacle of garbage between Charlotte and Ronda, now we got the main event segment, the KO show between Kevin Owens and Stone Cold Steve Austin. They were great. And Kevin Owens came out. He was talking trash about Dallas. Then we hear Stone Cold come out to a big reaction. People were excited to see Stone Cold. And then both of them started talking. Kevin Owens said he wanted to challenge him to a match, but not just any match, a no-hold-barred match. And then we got a no-hold-barred match. And then they announced the match. Stone Cold wrestled. I was shocked that we got an actual match. I was shocked that Stone Cold was in the ring wrestling. After 19 years. So after 19 years, Stone Cold is in the ring for the first time. For the first time in 19 years, Stone Cold Steve Austin is in the ring. The match went like 15 minutes. The match was great. It was a great match. Stone Cold looked great at his age. He's 57 years old. And I'm glad it was the main event. It was a great match. They fought outside the ring. Stone Cold took some very nasty bumps. He hit a couple of suplexes. They fought outside the ring. They fought on the stage. They fought all over the place. And then Stone Cold put Kevin Owens on the Jeep and rolled up the ramp. They hit a few suplexes. Then he rolled them back in the ring. Then we come back in the ring. Stone Cold drew him against the table. Crowd chanted, "You still got it," which he does. He does still got it. Stone Cold can still wrestle. Crowd chanted, "This is awesome." It was a great match. And then the ending was hilarious, where Kevin Owens hit the stunner. Stone Cold kicked out. Kevin Owens grabbed a steel chair, tried to hit Stone Cold. Stone Cold ducked. He hit the rope, and the chair bounced back and hit him in the head. And Stone Cold hit him with a stunner, and that was it. Stone Cold wins in a great match. He celebrated, and then he drank beer, and then he gave Kevin Owens another stunner, and Yes, he gave Kevin Owens another stutter, and and that was it. And then he also gave Byron Saxton a stutter, and he celebrated with his brother. Crowd popped. It was a great WrestleMania. Night one was a 5-star classic. Maybe one of the best WrestleManias I ever seen. The show was awesome. It was humongous. The show was great. It was a great show. One of the best WrestleManias in years since WrestleMania 31. Yeah. I mean, I feel bad. I mean, Kevin Owens did great work. He pretty much carried the entire feud. Stone Cold didn't make like one appearance besides of a promo package and him on the bump talking about his match. So yeah. Stone Cold looked great at his age. It might have been his last match for a while. I don't know if he's gonna wrestle again. He may wrestle with Saudi Arabia. I don't know. But I think we should leave it at there. Have this be his last match. But yeah. So that was night one. Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair was a 5-star classic. Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins was also a 5-star classic. Logan Paul had a great performance. It's sad that Rick Booth got injured. Drew McIntyre beat Baron Corbin, hopefully ended that feud. Drew McIntyre got his WrestleMania moment. He kicked out. He was the first minute kick out of the end of days. Wanda and Charlotte was the worst match. Wanda and Charlotte was the worst match on the night. And I'm glad that Charlotte did not main event WrestleMania. Kevin Owens main evented his first WrestleMania against a legend. And a great match. Great build. Yeah. Great WrestleMania. That was great. Well, now we can go on to night 2 of WrestleMania. Night 2 was a solid pay-per-view. Some things I liked, some things I didn't. Now we had a great opener with the Triple Threat World Tag Team titles. RK Bro defeated the Street Profit and the Alpha Academy. Now this was a great match. A great way to open the show. I didn't really care about it going in it. I knew it was a Monday Night Raw match. But it was a great match to open the show. A lot of big highlights. A lot of big spots. RKO retained. Matt Riddle and Randy Orton retained their titles. The highlight of the match was when Matt Riddle hit the RKO on Montez Ford on the top rope. The crowd went crazy. They went crazy for that spot. It was a great match. But the ending was when we had Gable Steveson. So after the match was over, we had Gable Steveson celebrate with RK Bro and the Street Profit. Then Chad Gable came out, and then he was talking about Gable Steveson not ready to be in the ring. So Gable Steveson hit a German suplex on Chad Gable. And that was it. So I think we might see Gable Steveson in the ring. He might be wrestling pretty soon. I don't know when. Now he was drafted on Raw, so I don't know if we'll see him or not. I don't know when. I'm hoping that we do. Yeah, it was a great match. I gave the tag team match 3 stars. I think I gave it 4 stars. It was a great way to open the show. Oh, and actually, I almost forgot to mention that Triple H did retire. Because on that opening show, I forgot. Before the tag team match, then we had Triple H come out and said thank you to the WWE Universe. Jacob and he said, welcome, it's WrestleMania. You guys know Triple H retired. We haven't seen Triple H since his cardiac arrest. You know, he was in the hospital because of the heart condition that he had. So I'm happy for Triple H is retired. And we all love Triple H. He'll be a legend in all our hearts. He got a big standing ovation. He left his ring booth in the ring and said thank you to everyone, and then said welcome to WrestleMania. And then after that, like I said, we had the Raw Tag Team titles. And then after that, we had the second match on the card. We had Bobby Lashley versus Omos, a match that had no business being on the card, a match that was not WrestleMania caliber. The match was boring. I didn't care about it. I don't care about Omos. Bobby Lashley beats Omos in a mats. That was it. Now I mean, Omos is terrible. Now we all knew this match was gonna happen. We know for months that they were gonna do Omos and Bobby Lashley. I, Now I was afraid that the match was gonna be for the title because as soon as Bobby Lashley won the title from Brock Lesnar at the Rumble, I thought Omos might win the Rumble, but thankfully that didn't happen. And then Lashley lost the title back to Brock, and then Lashley comes back. I didn't care about the match. I thought the match was boring. Omos is terrible. Omos sucked. And Omos did make a few mistakes in this match, and there was a point where he almost killed Bobby Lashley by hitting a suplex that barely connected. Yeah, the match was, whatever, man. So, yeah. Yeah, so Bobby Lashley wins with a spear. I didn't care about the match. Like last week they had a face-off on Monday Night Raw where Lashley came back, and they made a big deal how Omos had been undefeated. Nobody had taken down Omos, and Bobby Lashley took down Omos on Monday Night Raw. So why am I gonna care about seeing this match? I mean, match was terrible. I didn't care about it. Bobby Lashley wins. He beats Omos, and it looks like Omos's push is now over. No one's gonna take Omos seriously. Omos sucked. Omos is terrible in the ring, terrible on the mic. Omos is garbage. He worked on the Great Khali. So after that match, then we had Sami Zayn versus Johnny Knoxville. This match was great. Johnny Knoxville had a great performance. This was an anything goes match. Pretty much no disqualification or Extreme Rules. The match was kind of silly and ridiculous. It was sports entertainment. They brought in a lot of weapons. Johnny Knoxville brought in the actor from the Jackass movie. The match was entertained. I was entertained. I feel bad for Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn looked like a geek in this match. Now I knew that Johnny Knoxville was gonna win. He's a celebrity, and this is gonna be a one-off for him. He got his WrestleMania moment at WrestleMania. They did brought in a lot of weapons. They even brought in tables, mouth traps. I mean, the match was kind of like ridiculous, man. Yeah. So yeah, night 2 was decent. This might have been the best match on the show, and I thought the match was decent. Johnny Knoxville beat Sami Zayn. I thought was kind of like ridiculous, you know. So yeah, I thought the match was decent. It was a okay match. So Johnny Knoxville beat Sami Zayn. Don't know where Sami Zayn goes. So after that, we had the women's tag team title. This match was boring. Had no business being on the card. It should have been on SmackDown or Raw. So Sasha Banks and Naomi won the women's tag team title. They beat Rhea and Liv Morgan. They beat Carmella and Zelina Vega. They beat Shayna Baszler and Natalya. Match wasn't that good. It was whatever, really. It was your bathroom break. This match was your bathroom break. But Sasha Banks and Naomi won. Sasha Banks ends her losing streak at WrestleMania. She finally has a WrestleMania moment. She won the women's tag team titles, and they became Sasha and Naomi are the first black women to win the women's tag team titles. I don't know what they do with them. I kind of feel bad being placed on the card. You know, last year Sasha Banks main evented WrestleMania as the champion with Bianca last year. Had a great match. And here she's in this worthless match with the women's tag team title. Now we all know that these titles don't mean nothing, and the titles need to go away and get rid of it. The tag team division is garbage. There's no real tag team, no division. Everyone's a makeshift tag team. But her and Naomi won the titles, and that was it. I'm not gonna go through it because the match wasn't that good. Alright, and after that, then we had AJ Styles and Edge in another great match. The match was solid. It was a bit slow. The crowd was actually out of it. but the match was solid. It was a pretty good match, based on the story that they're telling with Ez. I mean, Ez is a great heel. Ez beat AJ Styles with the help of Damian Priest. Now, there are plans that Ed's gonna start a heel stable, a heel fasten. He gonna be in a stable with him and Damian Priest, and they might get more members. So yeah. So yeah. So yeah, the match was pretty solid, and then they both went at it. Ed kicked out the style class. AJ Styles went for the phenomenal forearm, but he got distracted because Damian Priest came out of nowhere and distracted AJ Styles. And then AJ looked back at Ed, tried for the phenomenal forearm, gets caught with a spear, and Ed wins. So Ed beat AJ Styles in a pretty good match. Wasn't the best match, but it was decent. But it's all about the story between Ed and the heel turn, and Ed is gonna start a heel fasten. Damian Priest is a heel. I'm glad that we get something for Damian Priest. He's finally gonna be in a big program with Ez, and he needs something. And I think that's gonna get Priest over as a heel. Cause he needs something. Cause his heel turn went nowhere, and after he dropped the United States title. So hopefully they do something with Damian Priest and Ez. Cause they celebrate after the match was over. So I think Ez and Styles might continue. I heard some people say that they might bring Finn Balor in there. I don't know. But after that, the best match on the show was Pat McAfee and Austin Theory. Was a fantastic match. Austin Theory knows how to wrestle. Now Pat McAfee beat Austin Theory. Austin Theory knows how to sell. He's a great wrestler. Hopefully that he has plans on TV. So yeah. The match was great. Pat McAfee did a backflip off the top rope. He jumped on the top rope and did a suplex that was also great. Austin Theory sold great. Pat McAfee wins with a roll up. He beat Austin Theory in a great match. Pat McAfee had a bad performance. Yeah. Pat McAfee beat Austin Theory in a pretty good match. Yep. Pat McAfee beat Austin Theory in a pretty good match. I thought the match was fantastic. Yeah. I thought it was a good match. It might have been the best WrestleMania in years, you know? So, yeah. I thought the match was great. And after that, after Pat McAfee won, Vince McMahon wrestled. Yes, Vince McMahon wrestled for the first time in 12 years. 76-year-old Vince McMahon wrestled at WrestleMania. And boy, WWE knows how to kill momentum. They love doing 50-50 booking. Vince McMahon beat Pat McAfee. Well, I think because Austin Theory did help him in the match. And Vince McMahon beat Pat McAfee and kept them with the football. 50-50 booking. I was like, what the hell going on here? Vince McMahon took off his suit and tie and wrestled for the first time in 12 years. And he wrestled against Pat McAfee. And he beat Pat McAfee. So after he won, Theory and McMahon beat up Pat McAfee. And then Stone Cold came out. Yes, Stone Cold came out and he attacked both of them. He hit the stunner on Austin Theory. Austin Theory sold one of the best stunners I've ever seen. Austin Theory knows how to sell. He sold the stunner like great. As soon as Stone Cold hit the stunner, he hopped in the air, which was great. Austin Theory is a great wrestler. He knows how to sell. And then Stone Cold tried to share a beer with Vince McMahon, trying to let bygone be bygone. But y'all remember the history between McMahon and Stone Cold? That wasn't gonna last long. So Stone Cold hit the stunner on Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon sold the worst stunner I've ever seen. And this is another reason why Vince McMahon should not be in the ring. She shouldn't be wrestling at all. So, Vince McMahon sold one of the worst stunners I've ever seen. That stunner was awful. The stunner that he hit was awful. One of the worst stunners I have ever seen. Seriously. It was awful. It was actually worse than Linda McMahon. And now Vince McMahon had the record. He sold one of the worst stunners I've ever seen. That was awful, you know that? Yes, that was awful. I couldn't believe that. And then after that, so after Stone Cold hit the stunner on McMahon, he also celebrated with Pat McAfee, and then he gave him a stunner with his for a shits and giggles, just be funny, you know? It's Stone Cold Steve Austin. He hit 3 stunners tonight on night 2. And after that was over, then we get to our main event. Title for title, championship unification, the biggest WrestleMania match of all time. Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. Reigns and Lesnar sucked. The match was very disappointing. The match was nothing but a finisher spam. Nothing but the same old shit between these two. And I hope to God that it's over. It was nothing but suplex, Superman punch, F5 spear, and then we had a screwy finish, then a lame finish, and that was it. I mean, the ending came completely out of nowhere. This match was nowhere different than their first match at WrestleMania. But Roman Reigns is the unified champion. He won both titles tonight. He beat Brock Lesnar. The match was, first of all, I don't know why they called it the biggest WrestleMania match of all time. They faulty advertised it. It came nowhere close to the first match. It might have been worse than WrestleMania 34. It was nothing but a finisher best. And it kind of made everything that they did on SmackDown look like a complete waste of time. Kind of shit on the feud that they did. Now, granted, we got some decent promo between Lesnar, Reigns, and Paul Heyman, and that was it. And I hope to God that it's over. And since Roman Reigns won both titles, who beats Roman Reigns? Now, I think it's time that someone's gonna beat him. I don't know if it's gonna be this year, maybe at SummerSlam. I don't know. But who's gonna beat Roman Reigns? I don't know. I mean, the match was nothing but suplexes. Like to start the match, like both of them came out to the entrances, nothing really special. And then we got the ring introduction. Paul Heyman did Roman Reigns' ring introduction. Brock Lesnar did his own in-ring introductions. And then the match got underway. 3 suplexes, Superman punch, there was a spear to the barricade. Lesnar almost got counted out. Referee got to a 9 count. Lesnar back in the ring. Superman punch, spear. Lesnar hit the F5, and Reigns kicked out. Lesnar tried for it again. Roman Reigns counters, and Lesnar hit the referee. Reigns spears him into the referee. Referee's out. Reigns hits a low blow. Reigns grabbed the title, hit Lesnar with it, got the pin. Lesnar kicked out. And then we get Roman Reigns does a spear, but I think Lesnar made a bots, because Lesnar didn't turn around. So Reigns just hits him. We got like a weird pin or whatever. And then Roman Reigns tried to go for a spear. Lesnar countered in the Kamal lock, and he had it in for like 45 seconds. Some people told me I think Roman Reigns might have gotten injured. He might have gotten hurt in that. I don't know. Johnson! But I don't know. I want to think he was selling, but I don't know. It might have been planned. I'm not sure. But after that, after he got out of the Kamal lock, Lesnar tried for the F5. Reigns countered into a spear. One spear beat Brock Lesnar, and Roman Reigns wins he is now the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. And he wasted both titles, and that was it. With pyro going off, that was it. People were shocked. People were surprised. A lot of us did not expect that ending, but it is what it is. Hopefully the feud is over and we can move on. I don't know if Brock gonna come back or not, but the match was very, very disappointing. Nowhere close to WrestleMania 31. It might have been worse than WrestleMania 34. It was a finisher fest. The spamming finisher moves. The match was very, very disappointing. But we all knew Reigns was gonna win. There was no swerve, there was no surprise, no Rock. The Rock didn't come out. Don't know when The Rock gonna come back. But I don't know. But who beat Roman Reigns? I don't know. I ain't like the math. The math was just like their last match at WrestleMania 34. The math might have been just like John Cena and The Rock. And as much we all hated that match with the spamming finishers and the lame ending, math was just terrible. But we all know Reigns was gonna win it, and that was it. Roman Reigns wins both titles. Who beats Roman Reigns? I don't know. Drew McIntyre's not the guy. Braun Breaker's not the guy. Don't tell me Walter or Gunther. He's not it. Tommaso Ciampa? No. Cody Rhodes might be the right guy. I think that they should do that SummerSlam and have Cody Rhodes win it. So yeah. So yeah. Well, WrestleMania may have been the best WrestleMania in years. I think I would have made like one video. I think it's been like 40 minutes. So I think that'll be it for today. Oh, come on. There we go. So I think that was it. Thank you for watching. Hit that like button. Leave a comment. Thank you for all the support. Hopefully y'all enjoy my video. And I'll be back with more. But WrestleMania 38, night 1 was better than night 2. Even though night 1 had the terrible card, but it was actually a lot better. Like Johnny Knoxville had a better performance than Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. Logan Paul had a better performance than Brock Lesnar. Pat McAfee had a great performance. But every time it comes to Lesnar, Lesnar's lazy. Lesnar's a part-timer. The same old shit with Brock Lesnar. Nothing but super Lesnar in F5. And I hope this is the last time we see Brock Lesnar as champion for a very, very long time. Now, I'm sure Lesnar might come back, probably around SummerSlam.
Jacob Johnson!
I assume that will happen. So, yeah. So, yeah. Well. Well, I think I will end the video. Until next time, I will do a SmackDown and AEW Rampage review. I'm not sure if I want to do a Monday Night Raw after Mania. I don't think so. But I will. Thank you for watching. I'll be back with more.